there's a narrative that needs to be stated here. Okay.
Well, let
for years we watched.
know about the.
I'm gonna let them know right here.
Yes, we're back again. We're back again.
Hey, let's pump up the volume.
Right here.
As always, if this is your first time listening, please make sure you subscribe on all platforms, whatever podcast platform you're using, you subscribe there. If you're on YouTube right now watching, go ahead and click subscribe there. We would appreciate it. And if you're on listening to the podcast via audio, we also appreciate it. And go ahead and leave us a review. We were trying to get better. We want to know what you guys think, and we want to really get better each and every day. And so you guys help us do that. We're in it for you, Whisper Nation. So help us out. Now, so another exciting wide receiver, Johnny, the guy we just talked about,
the most exciting, I'd say.
You can get your I Love CeeDee Lamb, your CeeDee Lamb shirts at thefantasywhispers.com. But CeeDee Lamb, drafted out of Oklahoma, number 17 overall to the Dallas Cowboys. Big D taking CeeDee Lamb here when they already have Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup in the wide receiver room, meaning Dak Prescott, they may not be making him too happy because they haven't paid him just quite yet, but they're making him pretty happy with the weapons they're putting around him, Johnny.
I mean, they're definitely showing their commitment in Dak, right? They're putting all these weapons around him and saying, "Hey,
Andy Dalton,
or Andy Dalton." Hey, yeah, Andy Dalton signing there is definitely. I mean, to me, honestly, the Andy Dalton signing there is even more confidence in all these wide receiver cores, because if they can't get Dak,
if something happened to Dak,
right? If something happened to Dak, or they can't re-sign Dak, I know my guy is fine, because Andy Dalton is more than capable of coming in this offense and running it. Now, when you're talking about CeeDee Lamb, 6'2", 198 pounds, he's a possession kind of wide receiver, but can also stretch the field. I mean, if you look at what he did and what he put on tape, Travis, it's absolutely astonishing. This guy doesn't look like a field burner. He doesn't look like he's going to blow past guys, but it's very similar to he ran a 4.50 40, super, not really, really fast, but it's funny. It's a lot like, Larry Fitzgerald. People don't talk about him being fast, but yet we have all this footage of him burning guys, going up and getting it, and then burning guys to the touchdown. So CeeDee Lamb goes into a very nice situation in my eyes, because Amari Cooper is only going to be there probably this year. He's not guaranteed past next year, and that's a massive contract. So why wouldn't the Cowboys be like, "Oh, I'm good. We have CeeDee Lamb, who is by all means going to be groomed to be the number one wide receiver in the next couple of years." And then, a lot of people were down on Gallup, but honestly, I do see this becoming a situation where Gallup and CD are the future wide receivers in Dallas, and Amari is the odd man out. He's going to require.
So do you think there's a situation where they're going to pay Amari, or they're going to trade Amari Cooper?
And that is also another situation that is going to be interesting. They could very well trade Amari Cooper. We've seen what teams are willing to give up for a team, and then we know what Dallas gave up, right? They gave up a first rounder for him. We know that Diggs got a first rounder and Hopkins got a second because we got a steal. But you're looking at a first or second rounder for a wide receiver, and they already have one that can come in and step in. I'm sure they would love to do that kind of deal. But I want to make sure that Whisper Nation knows that CeeDee Lamb is going to get targets this year. He might not have the best wide receiver first rookie year out of all the wide receivers we're going to talk about today, but he'll be solid. Let's remember that Randall Cobb and both Jason Witten are no longer with the Dallas Cowboys. They got traded or left. And so that leaves over 120 vacant targets with those two players. So CeeDee Lamb could very well get 80 targets this year. Maybe catch about 50 of them and have a decent rookie year. But this guy is going to be a stud in the next few years, and I'm obviously really, really excited because I have him on my.
Yeah, there's a narrative that needs to be stated here. Okay.
Well, let
for years we watched
know about the.
I'm gonna let them know right here. So for years we've watched Jason Garrett kind of take this offense and be very mundane and run the ball into the ground with Zeke, and they had Zeke, and I understand, and they still do, and I understand that. and they were playing to a massive offensive line, and those were the kind of things. We've seen a dynamic shift with them from making Kellen Moore the play caller last year to then going and getting Mike McCarthy, who has just been a specialist as far as a coordinator is concerned in getting passing games to the next level. So I think that's what needs to be looked at here is the fact that, okay, yes, they don't have Jason Witten anymore. They don't have Randall Cobb. They don't have this. I mean, the offensive line's still good, but it's not the juggernaut it used to be. Right. They don't need to play so much into the format that they've played into in the past. And then if you're talking about them wanting to pay Dak or not, it's maybe finally time for them to say, look, we got Mike McCarthy. We loaded you up with weapons. If you're going to be the guy, we need to see it. We need to see you pop the top off and be that franchise guy. And maybe they're finally taking the keys and putting them in Dak's hands here. And CeeDee Lamb, all these guys, that's something to look at this year. Dak's another, middle to late round guy that's going to have a lot of value, similar to actually, I mean, a lot better than you could trust him a lot more than Drew Lock, of course. But I think there's a situation here that we need to look at the other weapons. And as Johnny said, in a dynasty format, Lamb is in a great situation. Guy was compared by Pro Football Focus to Odell Beckham Jr. as far as what he's able to do with the ball in his hands. Johnny mentioned it there. The speed is deceptive. You look at the 4.5 40, not the craziest, but then you look at his highlight reel and it's all him taking these screens and other short slant routes to the house. So
and he breaks tackles. He breaks tackles left and right. Super elusive.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about CeeDee Lamb. Whisper Nation should be too. And once again, if you want that CeeDee Lamb shirt, head on over to thefantasywhispers.com. We got it there for you.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Whisperers podcast. You can hear more from John and Travis on Google Play, SoundCloud, and iTunes. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at TF Whisperers.